All right, y'all know what it is. It's the morning after. Sooners lose the final Bedlam for a while to little brother Oklahoma State. It is interesting that this went down. It's back-to-back road games leading to back-to-back losses. And so, yeah, we slept on it. We got all the venting out on the video yesterday. You can check out the link above. But now we're going to talk about what's going forward. As y'all know, the link in the description below are the times for the offense and defense if you want to skip past the introduction. But I got a long intro, so I want to do some talking. And before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. Thanks for pulling up to the channel. For the uninitiated, my morning after is me breaking down 22 nuggets, 11 on offense, 11 on defense, about this game that we're going to dive right into. And it's funny because now that I'm doing this one today, last season I did 7 of these, and none of them felt good. Right? Losses don't feel good, but at the same time, there was things I recognized is that that was year one of a new coach coming in, a new regime, a 75 to 80% refresh on the roster. We're now closer to 85% now of the players from the old regime gone and new players in. And so, yeah, the growing pains are starting to kick in. We've hit that point. We went 7-0, and now we feel like we've completely regressed. I'll drop a video tomorrow on the stats from the last 3 games and try to dissect what the heck is going on with this team. But the thing about it is, it's not as bad as you think it is, and it's never as good as you think it is either. There's always something in between, and we're starting to progress into the mean. And there were some things I noticed in this game that after a rewatch in the middle of the night, because I couldn't sleep, and a little bit of a rewatch this morning that made me say, I see what's kind of going on here. And some of you aren't going to like what I'm going to say. Some of you will, because some of this will validate some of the things that you were looking for. And others will think that these are some excuses, but excuses are tools of incompetence used by monuments of nothingness. Those who specialize in using them seldom amount to anything. I'm just going to point out some facts and some things that there's some silver lining here. So let's jump off on the offense, because I feel like that was the side of the ball that let us down the most. I know that everyone feels that the offensive coordinator's got to go, that the offense has looked bad. We put up in this game 492 yards. We were 5 of 12 on third down, which is awful, and 0 of 2 on fourth, which is awful. Not something that has been who we were this season. We are actually a lot better than that, but we put up 492 yards, passed for 344 yards, but we turned the ball over 3 times. 2 fumbles on snaps and the interception. I think the interception didn't bother me as much. Felt like more of a punt, but it was early. We literally punted on first down in the second half, and I need DG to not take that shot. I think I need him to be a little bit more his typical methodicalness early. I understand why he did it, because, first down, why not just air it out, see if you can win a battle 1-on-1, and eventually actually turn out to be a 2-on-1, and that's why we lost it. So I need DG to not do stuff like that. But those 2 snaps, Andrew Rain was mentioning, I think it was in the presser, that with the noise in a lot of places, it's hard to hear the snap count. And I'm trying to better understand. I think Red Dirt Sport mentioned this on Twitter. The dog, he said, why wouldn't Lebby have silent counts? My question is, why wouldn't you have one of the guards tap his leg to, let him know to count down to snap, right? You would think that would make sense, but we haven't done a lot of things logically. But I'll say this, though. Start off. We're going to go with some positives and some negatives in here. We're going to mix it up in a burger, a dag would, like I like to do. We did have 492 yards. We did turn the ball over 3 times. We figured out a run game. We ran for 148 yards, which is not as high as we normally get, but Gavin Sawchuk had 13 carries for 111 yards, and then he disappeared. Tyree Walker, though. Tyree Walker pulled up, injury second half, and gave us 8 carries, 59 yards. That's 7 yards carry. And a tutty on his first touch, which is 23 yards. But I have this question about him. It's what's the difference between when he runs the ball and our other running backs run the ball? Because it appears that when he runs the ball, there are holes everywhere. When he don't run the ball, there's an occasional hole there that we hit, we get tripped up, but then Sawchuk runs at 64 yards for a touchdown. I need to know the difference. And I need this to be the lineup moving forward. Tyree, Gavin, that's it. Leave it there. Leave it. Run with that for the rest of the season. Because they're going to be here next year. Go ahead and start planning for next season. We can still win 10 games, guys. 10-2 was what was my floor for this team. Now they have to show me that they're going to go 10-2, win a bowl game, make it 11-2. This is still a 10-win season team. Point blank, period. Don't shoot the messenger. We can still do it. Y'all can be mad, be upset. You should be upset yesterday. It's a new day. Let's move forward. Just like the players should move forward. We got West Virginia coming up this weekend, and that's going to be a tough game. Stoops and Jalil Farouk was out there. Stoops 12, 132. Jalil 798. Nick Anderson 3 for 92. And drops. I'll talk about the final play at the final part of this video, or at least this segment, but yeah, the game plan itself was not bad. We were moving the ball. Boneheaded turnovers hurt us, but we were moving the ball. We saw some solid passes from Gabriel. He had 11 incompletions, 26 for 37. Didn't have a bad game. But we had some drops. I'd say there was 2 plays, especially to Nick. Tutty or first down, dropped. Jalil had one, drop. We were dropping passes we shouldn't have dropped. Not understanding why Dylan Smothers got in before Brennan Thompson. Why Brennan Thompson wasn't put in a little bit more and gone deep. And I have a question around the tight end room. It appears that our tight end room this season is not good. It's hot dog water. And I say that with the most love because Stogner won in about 6-7 plays. He was giving us a solid block. But Xavier Benson for Oklahoma State was abusing him on the jet sweep. He did it 3 times in a row. He blew up Stogner or got right past him. I don't understand why we kept doing it. At that point, you take Stogner out. You put somebody else in for a lot of those plays. Stog ain't it. Love him. He ain't it. He ain't it for that play. If you bring in Stog, you bring in 2 tight ends. Let's go max protect. Because he was getting blown up. There was one play, though, people like to point out. 4th quarter, close to the red zone, before Stoops got hit with that pass interference that didn't get called. Stogner was open in the middle. He probably could have walked into the end zone. There's a reason why that pass didn't get made. Walter Rouse got beat quickly. And as soon as he got beat, Dylan Gabriel stepped up into the pocket and he got sacked. Because if he would have cocked back, fumble. Definitely a strip sack. Easy, because the way he got around Rouse and blew him up, he didn't have the time to be able to throw it to Stog. As soon as Stog made his break towards the out to the end, he was already on the ground. There was no way that play was going to happen. The blocking failed us on that. Let's talk about the blocking next. I noticed some things with these blockers this game. Put Caden Green at left guard, and for some reason we did really good. Like, really good. We looked good with Caden Green out there at left guard. And they let him play majority of the game. I appreciate that because that is something that we should have done more of, and we should definitely not shy away from. Because at this point, we're far enough into the season where a young offensive lineman is going to be able to grow, right? That's kind of something you want him to do. But Caden Green, we played the entire same offensive line the entire game. And the offensive line wasn't awful. But actually, they weren't bad. They're kind of solid. Actually, pretty good pass grade. Guyton did good on the run. And we figured some stuff out. That's what we've got to do more of. This game, we had a much tighter rotation. We didn't play a lot of players in this game. It was interesting. Played J.J. Hester, which that was a little interesting to me. And we didn't play enough Brennan to me. And we probably should have played more L.V. Buckley Shelton. Should have let him have an opportunity. The rotations have been interesting this season. And as of right now, we need to get something locked in that we're going to ride with. If it's this one from this game, I'm all for it. Smothers, love them. Freshmen, we don't need to play them. We'll play them more next year. Same thing with Hicks. We don't need to punt on this season. We need to go for 10 wins. We need momentum going into next season. So you ain't going to hear me say, let's punt. We got to go for it. We got to push. The aggression needs to keep going. And as I mentioned before, the game plan wasn't bad offensively. The clutch moments were bad. A lot of the jet sweeps and situations, you shouldn't run them. There were situations to run it when it executed, but you shouldn't run it with Stogner out there. Every time Stogner goes out there for a jet sweep, he gets blown up. Farouk is much better. He's a good blocker. Gibson is a pretty solid blocker. Didn't see much of him. I think I actually saw him in one snap this game. So far, the calculations. We need more of him. But Farouk, Nick Anderson need to play a lot more. Give me more Gibson and give me more Brennan Thompson. We didn't use much Gavin Freeman. Drake Stoops was, of course, out there. We need him on a regular basis because he does really good across the middle. Him and Nick across the middle are fantastic. And to be honest, when I look at the passing chart, we did a lot of passes across the middle. The thing y'all complained about the most, we did a lot of. It's pretty amazing what it looks like whenever you provide the right stuff. So that's the offense. Hop in the comments. Let your boy know what's your thoughts. How'd you feel about the offensive performance? There's a lot more nuggets I could have thrown out there, but I just want to stick to 11, so I don't want to make this video too long. Let's dive into the defense. Defense. Let's talk defense. And I mentioned earlier, there's some things I'm going to say that y'all not going to like, y'all not going to appreciate. Defense was not the problem. Sure, we gave up 480 yards. We started off very slow. Some things I did recognize in that. But first off, the defense was not the problem. It's nugget number one. It was not. We held them to 10 points in the second half and all in the fourth quarter. And that was all off of two bungled plays. We had the one bad thing that the defense did. The phantom pass interference on Makari Vickers, which I get why they called it. You can't get in the running lane of the wide receiver, but I think he was pushed into the lane because Owens is freaking huge. It appeared he grabbed that left hand and launched Makari into it. And so I don't think it was Makari's fault. He was just in a bad situation because that freaking wide receiver is flipping enormous. Rashad Owens, I mean, he doesn't look 6'2", 219. He looks bigger than that. He's a big boy. So Vickers did what he could, just didn't work out in our favor there. Then BV got to jump onto him for this. He needs ridicule for going out there and getting that 15-yard penalty because he went and asked a question. He didn't cuss. You could tell in the video. He just kind of walked up and was just kind of like, wait, so that's pass interference on us? Like, how? What he needs to understand is two things. One, he needs a get-back coach again. We need to just hire one and call it a day. Second thing he needs to understand is the refs are not your friends anymore. Not in this conference. They're not your friends. We should recognize that because I saw Mike Gundy do the same thing, but he was cussing and fussing when they got called for 12 men on the field. He went out there towards the field. He didn't go all the way out to the numbers, but he went out there to the field mainly because the ref was close enough so he didn't have to go over there and walk to him. And he lost his mind on the sideline, and guess what? They didn't say nothing. But we blame the refs in the other video. You can check that out up in the corner if you want to watch me lose my mind on the refs and really vent yesterday. But as I rewatched it, the defense did what they're supposed to do. They had 3 fourth down stops that were huge. Huge, I tell you, huge. And we did not do our part to finish it. Like at one point, so we started the game off bad with the touchdown. We forced a punt. We fumbled the ball. They drove down for a touchdown. Then they got a field goal after our punt. Then from there, we got the fumble, punt, downs, interception. Listen to me. You didn't hear me. If you heard me, didn't listen to me clear. We got the ball back. Oh man. Whew. We stopped them on. We forced a punt. We stopped them on downs. First half, which I don't get why we didn't go for it on that, but we'll talk about that another day. We forced them on downs. We literally 1, 2, 3, 4 straight possessions, downs or punt. But then we got them 3 straight on downs. 3 straight. Defense did their job. Then the offense went around and decided to give them the ball back. We scored a touchdown on one of them, which was good. Downs, then we did downs. We forced the interception. Billy Bowman out there making Ollie Gordon not throw the ball where he wanted to. And if we don't get all 35 yards on that penalty where we put them down inside of the 2, that was a turnover and downs. We should have done that one. That's the one possession that got us, and that was probably one of the critical ones. But for the most part in this game, we were forcing punts. We were causing problems. We allowed only field goals. That entire possession was bad, and then we did the 4 plays. What's that? 3 yards, and we forced the field goal after the Dylan Gabriel fumble on the snap. Shout out to this team on the defensive side of the ball. We've got to stop leaning on them for everything. We've got to stop putting everything on their backs. We can't be riding our defense like this constantly, because this is the other thing I noticed. Y'all know I love me some Jared Kanik, the mechanic. Love him. It was a really bad game for him again. Without Stutzman, he's still learning. We've said this before, it feels like Kanik is what Stutzman was last year. So we should expect a much better Kanik this coming year. Kanik's only second year, year and a half, playing linebacker, and he's making very fast mistakes. He should have got 2 pass block downs on third down if he would have kept up with his guy while keeping up with the eyes of the quarterback. That should have been an interception return for a touchdown. I'm going to say this. I sense he's going to probably get a pick 6 in the next couple of games because it's going to eventually click. That's what happens. Just clicks. Oh, that's what I'm supposed to be. Boom, break up the pass or intercept it and go. Stutzman did that last year against Iowa State. He did it again this year. We saw the growth, but we're missing our general. We missed this guy. We need our general back. But I'll tell you this, Kip Lewis is going to be a monster. I'm going to tell you this, Kip Lewis is going to be something special. Kip Lewis will shut your boy up. The size worried me, but dude, Kip went out here and got 15 tackles, 9 solos. We also only got 3 tackles for a loss, while Oklahoma State had 5, which this is the second game in a row we were outdone on the tackles for the loss. I need my defensive linemen to get better out there. But this was the other thing I noticed. Robert Spears-Jennings had a really good game. 7 tackles, 2 of them solo. He was everywhere. We played a lot of young players in this game. You saw a lot of Vickers. You saw a lot of Robert Spears-Jennings. Kendall Doby was out there a lot. Kip Lewis. Kobe McKenzie. We saw Josiah Wagner, and he got kind of punked in one play. Good Lord. I think it was either Owens or Johnson. They just kind of threw him. We saw a lot of young players in this game in the secondary and the linebacker spot. Something you've all asked for. You want to see more of the young players, right? You got a lot of young players in this game. That's the results you get. They did solid overall on defense, but they got exposed in a few spots that ended up making us lose. We played a lot of young players. I'm going to repeat that. We played a lot of young players. That's a good thing. Sucks we didn't close this out, but that's going to probably lead us something big. Xavier Benson had 3 tackles for loss by himself. Told y'all, he was punking Stog. Every time he had the opportunity, he was punking him. We defensively balled out. The Billy Bowman interception was interesting because I don't know how beneficial it was to us because we didn't capitalize on it. But I'll tell you, man, our kicking, man, we out next season. Some of the personnel changes were weird. The only time I didn't see weird personnel changes was on the defensive side of the ball for the most part. That was the only time. Woody needed a break. We threw out there. We played some Kenai Walker when he was healthy. We played some Josiah Wagner as well as some Makari Vickers, and they didn't do bad. Now, our zone is questionable. That's his point number 7 here. There's something going on with this zone. Our zone defense, we give up too much space. We don't close out fast enough to break up passes, but we do a good job of tackling, which is probably one of our better attributes on this team, is that we actually do a good job on the tackling side. But my goodness, we got to do better on that zone, because when we were in man, Bowman couldn't go nowhere. Now, he was eating us on the underneath because we were playing a light zone. We were giving enough space underneath for them to do it. But man, because we had 17 missed tackles in this game. That's a lot. 17. But Robert Spears Jennings had a game. And he came in because Reggie Pearson was suspended for the first half of the game due to that targeting call he got against Kansas. And so when Reggie got back out there, we were going back to doing what we were doing. We were putting on pressure. We were doing everything we were supposed to. And Reggie was really good in coverage as well. But we played a lot of young players. Bowen looks like he's hurt. He played about 10 snap counts. He didn't look right. He'll get back there. But Bowman and Woody was the ones all over the place, and Kip played 82 snaps. Kendall Dobie, 62 snaps. Man, we had 84 snaps on the defensive side of the ball was our max. We played 84 snaps. Woody and Bowman was on both. So I'm saying this to say this now. The defense was not the problem. The defense worked their butts off. Our offense just didn't close. And so as I close this up, I'm telling y'all, man, 10 wins is still in sight. 10 wins still in the docket. We finished the season with a double-digit win season. It looks we got a good recruiting class all 6 and 7. We get 10 wins. The recruiting class is going to continue to improve. We just got to get stronger, and we got to be consistent. So that's the defense. Hop in the comments. Let your boy know what your thoughts. Love to hear how you all felt about this game. I'm hurting for the team. I'm hurting for the guys because they wanted to impress you all this year. They wanted to give you all a better year than anticipated. They wanted to give you all fans the world, and they just could not come through with what they wanted to give you all. And I'm not mad at them for that. I love the effort. I love that they're still going to work hard. And the fact that the first thought was, we lost. The conference is not out at reach. We just got to go execute and win moving forward. Somebody else is going to lose. I promise you, somebody else is going to lose. It'll be a 2-win conference champ this year. A 2-loss conference champ this year. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. If you made it this far, you like the content, hit the like button. YouTube channel, subscribe. I've lost a lot of subscribers over the last few days. Actually, after losses, I still start losing a lot because people are mad at me because I still keep a silver lining, which I don't care. If you want to unsubscribe, deuces, don't worry. I'm going to continue to grow and flourish because I'm going to keep working my butt off for my people. For the people that appreciate it, keep working my butt off. So thank you all that ride with me. Thank you all for understanding that I'm not ridiculing you for being upset. Just don't expect me to be that guy. You can do that. I will chop it up with y'all tonight, 6 p.m. We go live like we always do. And a lot of conversation. Talk soon. Peace.